Welcome to another edition of the Living Large Theater Podcast. I am Billy Santiago, along with my good friend of about 2.5 years, Noe Ayala, our super producer. Gary, not with us today, had a prior. But we welcome you to the Living Large Theater Podcast. livinlarge@gmail.com is our email address. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, the iHeart Podcast Network. If you want to become a sponsor of this fine show, reach out to our super producer, Noe, 956-451-1633.
Not after 9, please.
Okay.
Not after 9.
Rate our podcast, share with a friend, and leave us a comment, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button. We're going to thank our fine sponsors of this fine show, White Sands Hotel and Marina in Port Isabel. That's it. Yeah. Also, Fred Rodriguez, the South Texas sportsman. Got to have it if you want to book a fishing expedition or a hunting trip this fall. Make sure you reach out to our good friend, Fred Rodriguez. He's all over Facebook. The the Texas sportsman. And also, Ward Thomas. Ward provides us with this opportunity to be in the studios here, doing the Living Large Theater here in McAllen. So we thank Ward for that as well.
Who do we have today?
We have today an old friend of mine, a former co-worker, who's now in his, how many years you been with CineSol now, Henry?
About 30 years.
30 years. Henry Serrato. Henry, we call him Hank. Back at the station. What's going on, Henry? How are you, buddy?
What's going on, Billy? Long time no see.
I know, man. So what are you up to these days besides living large and taking charge?
Well, I'm still with the festival. I mean, CineSol is celebrating 31 years this year.
And you started out as a volunteer?
Yeah, I started out year 2 as a volunteer. I would switch out the tapes into 3/4-inch decks and the VHS tapes and fix the tracking. I mean, that's how old school it was back then, pre-internet. So I was a volunteer in college. I didn't even know what a film festival was. And then 2005, they screened one of my films. In 2006, I was voted on the board. 2007, I've been director ever since 2007. So
what film did they screen back in 2005?
Oh, I know what you're leading up to. I did a mockumentary called Search for the Chupacabra. And so it's half real interviews. I interviewed someone from the Gladys Porter Zoo and the Cameron County Health Department and a folklore professor at UTB. But I have scripted scenes with my fake reporter, and he's trying to hunt the chupacabra, and he encounters everything but the chupacabra. So he encounters La Llorona and UFOs and the big bird. Remember the big bird from the 70s?
All right.
Yeah, remember the
From
big
Sesame Street?
No, the big pterodactyl that would like eat cattle down South Texas. So that was a thing. So
Wait, that wasn't true?
it is now. It is now. Yes.
It was probably Billy on the building, right?
Right. So
You're a funny guy. No, you're a funny guy, man.
They screened my Search for the Chupacabra movie, and so that's how.
How was the response to it, Hank?
Oh, good. I actually got interviewed by abcnews.com for a Chupacabra story, and every now and then a Chupacabra random will find me somehow. My movie's actually at the McAllen Library, in the Lark Library. So
really?
if you search for it, I think it's also in the folklore archives at UTRGV, but for sure the
What about
McAllen
the South Texas Museum of
I should go.
You right?
Yeah,
They should have a display for you, man, with the, and then they show, how they just show in a loop.
Yes.
So how long is your documentary?
Like 43 minutes.
Wow, Hank.
Yeah.
That was the start. And we were working together back then. I was working at iHeart.
Yeah.
Well, back then it was Clear Channel, and you were board hopping for talking with Tim. You had Tim Smith. We had Tim Smith as a morning show host on our AM station when we kicked it off, and you were the board op, and then you went on and did the CineSol and the Chupacabra documentary. And look at you now, man, on the board 30 years later.
Yeah.
Man.
Festival director about 17 years or something like that. I'm the longest running festival director, even longer than the co-founder.
So how's the CineSol Film Festival grown from when you started to where it is today? How much influence does it have as far as people coming down to South Texas to shoot movies, or around the state of Texas? You getting a lot of people from Hollywood coming in more than you did when you first started out.
Well, South Texas has always been an ideal film location for some. I mean, like they shot some of the Santo movies and El Santo movies and wrestling movies in South Padre Island in the 70s. They shot some like Mexican cartel movies in the 80s in Brownsville. Brownsville seems to be the hub, but there've been movies. Robert Duvall shot a movie in Brownsville called A Night in Old Mexico. Mel Gibson shot Get the Gringo in Brownsville. They shot an episode of Friday Night Lights in Brownsville.
Oh, yeah?
They shot Endgame in Brownsville. Not Avengers Endgame, but there was a Brownsville chess team, high school, that went to championship several years. So they did a movie about the Brownsville chess team, and it stars Valente Rodriguez, Efren Ramirez, who is Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite. They shot that movie in Brownsville too. So there's been a movie scene just off and on here and there, and just people don't know about it.
So I had a question on as far as AI. How does AI play a role here in making movies now?
On the movie scene, well, I think it affects them just as much as musicians or artists. You don't want to take away jobs from visual arts or filmmakers or graphic designers, but sometimes it helps to use it just a little bit to tweak it or to fix something. But right now, since AI is still in the early stages, I mean, it's still kind of questioned sometimes,
So are we going to have like a certain category for just AI in those categories as far as making films and so forth? Because I do see it coming on, and I've messed with AI a lot, and it does, man, some of these things that it does, man, it's realistic already, so.
Probably there'll probably be a T2 category in honor of Terminator 2.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
The T2 category.
Yeah.
Hey, Henry, growing
Yes.
up, man, what are some of the movies you grew up watching? You're going like, man, someday I'm going to be involved in this big old film festival, and I'm going to do some great things.
I was not much into movies as a child. I
Really?
said, I discovered the film festival in college because I had a work-study job, and my boss, Omar Cantu, he was the technical advisor for CineSol at the time. So he's like, hey, come with me. I'm going to take some equipment to South Padre Island to a film festival. Like, what's a film festival? So I went with him, and that's how I discovered CineSol, and that's how I fell in love. But, I mean, I wasn't much into movies. I mean, there's a lot of well-known blockbuster movies that I've never seen. Like, I've never seen Rocky.
No.
Wow, man, that's interesting.
Yeah. And there's I've never seen 16 Candles.
How about Goonies?
I saw
The
that a
Goonies?
couple of years
Oh,
ago.
okay.
I barely saw Alien this year for the first time.
That's where Billy comes out in.
So you got the CineSol Music Festival. Now it's the CineSol International Music Festival, right?
Yeah, it's always it started Latino in its name, and over the years it's dropped. But I mean, we've always been international, so we're showing films from all over the world this year.
So how many days is it? When's it start? Where can people get information on who's going to be here and stuff like that?
So a film festival is like a music festival. Like, you go to a music festival and there's different stages, different genres. A film festival is the same concept. So we are showing independent films. These are up-and-coming filmmakers. These are not rated. These are amateur. And we're showing documentaries, animations, horror, comedy, features, a little bit of everything. We're showing films from all over the world. So for this year, over 2 days, we have 42 films in 2 days, and 15 of those 42 films have an RGV connection, which means some of those films were shot primarily in the Valley using all cast and crew from the Valley. And there are a couple of films that maybe were shot in New York and the director's from McAllen, or this movie was shot in Austin and the lead actor was from Don or something like that. So we count those as RGV ties somehow.
So people can just submit their entries, right? And you guys approve them and then say, okay, we're going to put you in, or we're not going to put you in. How's that work?
Correct. Yeah. Like any film festival, there's like an open call for entry. So you pay an entry fee and you submit your film. So, we have the hard task of watching all these movies. And it sounds like fun, like, yay, I got to watch movies. But yay, I got to watch 140 movies, So
how many people are involved in this process, Hank?
We have jury. We have like a jury of 10 people, and they watch the movies, and they rate it. They give it like yes, no, maybe, award worthy, but we don't have a criteria. We want the jury to watch movies and just look for good movies, because if it doesn't catch your attention in the first 15 minutes, it might not catch the attention of the audience as well.
So who are these people that do that? Like, are they professionally involved in movie making, or?
It's our board, and there are some people here within the industry here in the Valley, and some, I guess, common folk not in the industry, because again, we're appealing to the common folk, the general audience. And the filmmakers are also jury members, but we have a good mix, so that way when they select the films, we have a better idea of what appeals to the filmmaker people and what appeals to the general audience.
How somebody qualify for making those movies? Is it is certain minutes, hours? How is it?
There is no length when you submit a film to a film festival, so there are different categories. So you can submit a short. I mean, we're showing a 2-minute movie and a 5-minute animation. So all genres from 2 minutes to feature length. I mean, we're showing a couple of feature length documentaries and some feature films. So all genres, all lengths. I mean, any film festival, when you submit a film to a film festival, you can submit by category. So you can submit by horror, genre, horror, drama, comedy, features, documentaries, animation.
In the area there where you're going to have all these movies showing, is it like a market area, or is just everybody's open? How does that go?
This year we're going to be at the E-Bridge Center in Brownsville. It's in downtown Brownsville, and we were there last year. So we have one room dedicated to shorts. We have one room dedicated to workshops, and we have one room dedicated to features and documentaries. So like four rooms. So you go in one room, and if you don't like the documentary, go to the next room and sit in on a workshop. And if that doesn't catch your attention, go to another one.
So if somebody wants to go check it out, how can they pick up tickets, Hank?
So everything's at CineSol.com. So if you go there, we have all the film synopsis there. So we have a description of all the films that are submitted, or all the films that we are showing. We got the schedule there. So everything is $6. So if you want to see this documentary, $6. It's cheaper than the going to a theater nowadays, right? So everything's $6, and we have a block of shorts. So like an hour and a half of 10 shorts, and all of that is $6. But we do offer weekend passes. So there's a Saturday pass, there's a Sunday pass, there's a weekend pass. So we try to fit what you can afford.
How long you been doing it over there in Brownsville? Has it been here in McAllen before?
No. CineSol for the first 10 years, it was at South Padre Island at the convention center. And I think that year a hurricane hit. And so they had to find a different location. And I think that year they went to maybe Cine El Rey. And ever since then, CineSol has hopped from city to city. So CineSol has been at South Padre Island, McAllen, Edinburgh, Harlingen, Mission, and Brownsville. So this is we've been to Brownsville before, but we were there last year, and we're going again.
That's a good location for you, Hank?
It is. It's hard to find a film festival friendly venue, because you need about 2 or 3 rooms, and you need them to be AV capable and make sure that they're able to hold a decent amount of people and screen it and big screen. So that's kind of the trouble sometimes, finding a venue.
Hey, so in the 30 years, I'm sure you've had a lot of people come in, present their film, their short, their documentary. Who's gone on to do big things in Hollywood that we're not aware of?
Raul Castillo right now is the one that comes to mind, because way back when we would show his college shorts and some of his shorts that he did. He's from McAllen. He's a bulldog, right? But he's making it big. He was in Vida. He was in Looking. He was in Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder. He was in Cassandra, that just came out on Amazon Prime last year, about the wrestler. So he just got it was just announced earlier this week that he's going to be in the remake of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. and he also came out in Smile 2. So he was our guest at our festival last year. So we had him down, and you could have met him. You could take pictures with him, and he did us a big favor at coming down, and we screened Cassandro.
Who else is coming down that for the festival?
So our big celebrity guest this year, his name is Bradley Freeman Jr. He's from Brownsville, but he currently works on Sesame Street. He's worked with the Muppets, but right now he works on Sesame Street. He is Tamir, Wes, and Timmy Twiddlebug. It's been a while since I watched Sesame Street, so I don't know who these characters are.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
I see him here. Right here.
Yeah. So he goes to schools and he does a puppeteering workshop. So when he comes down here, he will be doing a puppeteering workshop, and he's going to allow you to work with the puppets that he's bringing. But he is not bringing down the Muppets or Sesame Street, because that's that's
trademark infringement.
that's right. That's a lot of risk involved with intellectual property as well. So he's bringing down his own puppets that he does in his workshops.
So this festival would not leave the valley at all, correct? It would just stay here.
Correct.
Okay.
This is a valley. You just jump from city to city down here in the valley.
Sounds good.
So if people want information, what's the website again, Hank?
CineSol.com. We got a Facebook. We got a Twitter. One of the other. Can I mention one of the other films that we're showing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the other bigger films that we're showing, it's called Bloody and Bruised: The Untold Story of the Backroom. So the Backroom was this famous CD bar in Austin, and it hosted a lot of indie rock, death metal, hardcore rock, like Pantera has played there, Danzig has played there, Pearl Jam, Dangerous Toys, a lot of hardcore bands have played there, and the bar has closed down, right? So this documentary interviews a lot of the employees, the bartenders, the waitress, security, and all the managers over the years, and they interview a lot of musicians from obviously the Austin area. And one of the musicians that they interview is from Dangerous Toys. I think they were one of the few Austin bands that made it and got MTV airplay. And there was they also interviewed Joey Dueñas. He's from Harlingen, but he was also in the group Un Loco. So the director, Budro Partida, the producer, John Ju Jr., and Joey Dueñas, they're from the Valley. They all live in Austin. They're coming down here for their movie premiere. So they're gonna hear for the documentary, and they're gonna do a Q&A, and they're even doing a unofficial after party at the Kraken Lounge there in Brownsville after their movie screening.
Hey, Hank, is Austin becoming the Hollywood hub of Southwest?
Austin?
Yeah, it is.
It is. Because of UT Austin and their film department and South by Southwest, Robert Rodriguez has a studio there, and there is a lot of production in Austin for sure, and in Texas. There's a lot of people moving out of California, moving away from Hollywood, and they're coming to Texas. And there's like Sandra Bullock and Matthew McConaughey live in Austin. So
Tyler Perry opened up that big old production studio complex in Atlanta, south side of Atlanta.
It's all about incentives because like Texas for a while, and Tyler Perry has like the Avengers movies were shot in Georgia because of the incentives. The incentives work is that like the studios get some of their money back if they shoot their production in their city, right? So it incentivize the production to shoot in and spend money in hotel, food, catering, all of that stuff, and then the studios will get some of that money back. New Mexico has great incentives. That's why Breaking Bad was shot in Albuquerque, and Tyler Perry in Georgia. Texas has incentives, but not as great as Georgia and New Mexico. And so they're trying to raise the incentives more to encourage more production to happen. That's why Canada, a lot of movies are shot in Canada because of the lower costs and incentives as well.
I did see The Walking Dead was in Georgia too, right?
Right.
So that show has been going on for what, 14 years or 10 years or something like that?
I think it ended and the spin-off is the one that's going on.
That's
now,
right. Okay. Yeah, but it's been going on for a while. Why don't we have our own called La Llorona or La Chupacabras here?
Right. Well, we have a film. Brownsville has a film commission. Brownsville is the only city that has a film commission, and the film commission is the middleman. So when Hollywood comes down to Brownsville, they don't know how the city politics work, or they don't know locations, or they don't know the permits to close down streets. So that's what that's what a film commission does. So I remember when A Night in Old Mexico was shot in Brownsville, I was an extra in that movie, and they closed down downtown Brownsville, the streets, and they put up fake Mexican posters and vota así en PRI o PAN, and they put fake Mexican license plates on cars, and they converted downtown Brownsville to look like Mexico. So they used my car and they gave me fake license plates
to put it on.
And I drove around the block in a scene, and that's all I did. Just drove.
So how much you get paid for that, Hank?
Like $80 for the day.
Oh, not bad, not bad.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. You know what I've seen though? I've seen some. I think it was Sicario Part 2.
Sicario, yes.
Yeah, and they put in McAllen, Texas, and the border's like right there. I was like, oh no, that's Hidalgo, Texas, maybe.
right. In fact, there's Elijah Rodriguez from McAllen comes out in Sicario too. But
there's a lot of people that come out in different films. Like J.D. Mata was one of them. He came out in True Blood, and Max Decker, I think he came out in All My Children.
JD's got a new one out too right now.
Oh yeah, what is it?
I don't remember.
JD, don't kill us.
I've seen him posted on YouTube. But hey, Hank, so you have a lot of people going to be coming in from out of town. You got a lot of up-and-coming people who want to get into the film industry. Are there going to be any workshops so people can learn on how to get funding, on what to look for, and how to approach things?
Yeah, absolutely. Because going to a film festival has two major points, right? So number one, I think if you're a film lover, you need to go watch these amazing films, because these are films that you're not going to see in Cinemark. These are films that you're not going to see in the theaters. These are films that you may not even see in Netflix. Some have the possibility of appearing on Netflix, because like last year we showed Going Varsity in Mariachi, and now, as you know, it's all over Netflix. But there are some movies that have potential for theater distribution or streaming service, right?
So is there somewhere where they could find these films if they don't see them here, or that's it?
A film usually travels the film festival circuit about 2 or 3 years, and if it gets picked up, then you can see it somewhere, right? But if it doesn't
get website or anything, they can't.
No, well, because if a film is traveling the film festival circuit, they should not put it on YouTube, because why would people go to the film festival and pay to see it if they can see it on YouTube for free?
Yeah.
So you're helping the film festival by screening it exclusively, and people come and generate revenue and people and word of mouth, that kind of thing. So a film has to travel the festival circuit 2 or 3 years, so it should ideally stay off the internet.
So
for
after
that long.
2 or 3 years, it doesn't go anywhere. YouTube it.
And then, you got to tank your losses, man.
Right? Absolutely, yes. And sometimes, because you're only going to see movies in Amazon or Netflix if they're feature length, right? Like 60 minutes or more. But if we have an amazing short that's 10 minutes long, but
or something like the Chupacabra, the documentary,
an odd timing of 43 minutes. Netflix, Amazon, Paramount, they don't screen shorts. So you're only going to see these shorts in a film festival and maybe on YouTube if you missed it. So plus, so you go watch amazing films that you're not going to see anywhere else, right? If you like watching movies, go to a film festival. And the other important part of going to a film festival is networking. It's meeting other peers that like filmmaking as much as you do. So the film festival is heavily attended by actors and directors and grips and audio guys in attendance. So if you want to meet other people, or you want to meet acting, or you want to get your foot in the door, you need to go to a film festival.
Hey, Noe, who was here?
Rodrigo Moreno.
Rodrigo Moreno.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Yeah, Rodrigo.
And he's got a movie he's going to be featured in the at the film festival.
Well, last year we screened his movie Strings, right? And
Okay.
right now he just finished El Llorón.
That's
and
right.
it's just starting his film festival circuit. He's barely traveling. So I think he just had two premieres at a film festival up north, and he's going to be traveling. It was too late for us because we have a certain deadline, but I reached out
Maybe
to
next year.
Maybe next year. Yeah. We've
Interesting.
shown some of his films over the years as well. So yeah,
He's an up and coming director.
So we're not going to be able to watch it here this time of year, right?
not this
Oh,
year for
okay.
sure. Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Wow. Well, Hank, once again, if people want information, they want tickets, where can they go for the CineSol Music Festival?
Wait, before you
Film
say
festival.
that too,
Yes.
where do you get that T-shirt? I want one. Where
So-
can we purchase it?
Well, we have this was from last year actually.
really?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really
So
interesting.
every year we have
Caps too.
no, not yet. But every year we have a design based on the theme of the year. And so if you look at this year's theme, you notice, excuse me, puppet kind of overseeing the Plaza building in Brownsville. That's kind of going in theme with Bradley Freeman Jr. because he's going to be our big celebrity this
And
year.
how many people are you expecting this year? Is it growing every year?
It's
or-
growing and it always depends on who our celebrities are or what films we are. We're expecting a big crowd for Bloody and Bruised because even though it's about an Austin bar, like I said, Boudreaux, John, and Joey, they're from here, so they're inviting their family and friends, and this is their only opportunity
To see it.
to see the movie because again, they're not going to show this movie in a theater, so you have to come to the film festival so that way they can see Mijo's directorial debut, and they want to see on a big screen, attended by their family and friends. So that's why we're showing that movie twice. Actually, we're showing it Saturday night, and then we have a Sunday matinee.
Okay. So once again, what's the website they can go to for information?
So CineSol.com. We have an Instagram. We have a Twitter. We have a Facebook. But if you go to our website, we have a YouTube as well. But if you go to our website, CineSol.com, the film synopsis is there. The film schedule is there. Pricing, links. And I also want to mention that Friday night, we're going to kick off with a little networking mixer gala. It's going to be at the Ramblas in downtown Brownsville. They're going to have food and drinks. And if you bring a ticket for the festival, they're going to be giving free headshots for the first 20 people that bring a ticket. So Friday night in Brownsville, they have First Fridays. There's a lot of music and food and vendors and artists. And so we're going to have a little networking mixer that Friday night at Ramblas, 6 to 9. But the film festival for movies is Saturday and Sunday.
I think Billy needs a headshot there,
Yes.
right, Billy?
Yeah.
I'm not going to. Hey,
A flu shot or something.
hey, anybody want to see the Chupacabra documentary? Where can they see that?
I've been meaning to upload it, just haven't had a chance.
I'd be interested.
We'll go to the library.
Are they doing the 24-hour challenge again?
Yeah. We just had the 36-hour film race.
Oh, it's a 36-hour. Okay.
On Friday, November 22nd. So it just happened. So the way that works is different teams show up. They have no idea what their film's going to be about. We will randomly give them character, prop, location, dialogue, and genre. So, for example, a cowboy, a stapler, a taco stand, say hello to my friend, and it needs to be a drama. So different teams take off, and they have 36 hours, and they have to incorporate those 5 elements in their film. They have to turn it in by the deadline,
Which is?
in 36 hours. Depends what time we kick off.
So you guys look at those and determine a winner?
Right.
I
So,
think we can do that, Billy. What do you
Right.
think, man?
yeah. So,
Well, I shot some film back in college, man. I wasn't very good at it, but I could imagine things are a little different these days.
right. So they turn them in, and then we have judges, and they'll vote for best editing, best actress.
Have you
best film.
seen any of them, Hank?
Yeah, it just happened this weekend, but I can't.
You can't reveal
I can't say,
your-
But if you go at the festival, we screen them there. So,
So how many entries you have?
I can't say.
You can't say the entries?
I can't say because it just happened November 22nd.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. There we go. Thanks, Hank.
So yes, but if you want to see these film races, I mean, they're 100% local. We show those Sunday night at the film festival, so you're going to see 10 or 15 versions of this movie, and it's like it's our version of the Oscar. So we show the films, and it's followed by an award ceremony, and we give out prizes.
So you get there early.
My eye doctor, Dr. Rick Gonzalez in Elsa. He was in one of those challenges.
Rick
right?
Gonzalez, right?
Right.
He competed in the early years, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back when you had good vision, I think.
There you go. Hey, Henry, good luck on the CineSol Film Festival. We thank you for coming into the Living Large Theater podcast, and hope to see you soon, Hank.
All right, thank you.
All right, the Living Large Theater. We're at livinglargetheater@gmail.com. We're available on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Prime, the iHeart Podcast Network. You can reach out to us if you want to become a sponsor of this fine show, 956-451-1633. Make sure you rate our podcast, share with a friend, leave us a comment. More importantly, leave us your thoughts. We appreciate that. We want to thank White Sands Hotel and Marina in Port Isabel. We want to thank Ward Thomas, Majestic Studios. We want to thank the Texas sportsman, Fred Rodriguez. Gotta have it. Until the next episode, you keep living large because we're living large.